What's going on, guys? It's your boy Gamers Goon here today to talk about Monday Night Raw. Now, you might be like, it's Thursday. Why are you doing the Monday Night Raw review on Thursday? Well, what I wanted to do this week is I wanted to try something new. I wanted to film all 3 videos on the same day. SmackDown and NXT included. But NXT I'm going to hold off because I'm going to watch the UK tournament before I put out that video, because I'm going to include the stuff that goes on in the UK tournament with that video. So this is going to be Monday Night Raw review. And Monday Night Raw was not a good show, as per usual, but it led some interesting questions. And there's a huge storyline on this show that I want to get into, and I want to start off with it. Bayley and Sasha versus the Riot Squad was the match for this evening. Kurt Angle's like, I'm tired of your bickering. You guys gotta coexist. You're gonna fight the Riot Squad, and you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. Obviously, last week we saw Sasha's beatdown on Bayley, getting frustrated. But this week, we saw Bayley get frustrated, and after the match, they lost. They lost to the Riot Squad. After the match, Sasha's all upset. And then Bayley, out of nowhere, looking like a dastardly heel, she goes right at Sasha, and she is beating the living crap out of her. It looked brutal. Bayley was having a great moment. But even the funnier thing about that segment is the music, the happy-go-lucky music playing behind angry Bayley. There's something about that I like. I don't know what it is, but it just seems picture perfect. Now, do I agree that Bayley should have been the one to turn heel? No. Sasha Banks is the best heel in the women's division, and she will be the best heel in the women's division. Better than Alexa Bliss, so don't come at me saying Alexa Bliss is. No. Go watch what Sasha Banks did in NXT and tell me that she wouldn't be the top heel in the women's division. You can't argue it. The wrong woman turned heel, but this is interesting. Obviously, a lot of the little girls are Sasha Banks fans now that she's a face. Okay. Back in NXT, everybody was a fan of Bayley. The little girls, even all the way up to the smart marks, as we're called. Everybody liked Bayley. Now, ever since that feud last year at Extreme Rules against Alexa Bliss, where she got destroyed by one kendo stick shot, nobody's really cares about Bayley. So this goes well for Bayley because it's giving her attention now. People actually care what Bayley's going to do. And I don't know. I think Bayley could actually prove us all wrong and be a good heel in this situation if that is the way they go. I can't really tell because last week it was Sasha and this week it's Bayley. I'm not really sure. But if it is Bayley, I think it's a well-needed, way too long of a wait for Bayley to have something that boosts her up. Because ever since she lost to Alexa Bliss last year, nothing's happened. She's literally been helpless. Nobody can help her or bring her to anything decent. Nobody cares what Bayley does. And honestly, if you want a match to make Bayley elevated, it's Sasha Banks. She's put on the best match for everybody. Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James. Every good match that you've seen every best match you've seen from each woman on the Raw roster has been against Sasha Banks. Just think about that. So, Bayley obviously could get herself over as a heel in this situation. You're going to probably give Bayley the win since she would turn heel. Sasha, obviously, since she's the most marketable woman, she's probably not going to be the heel in this situation. Because, let's be honest, Bayley's not as marketable as Sasha Banks. And you know Vince wants to keep the most marketable people as his baby faces. He does it with Roman. He does it with Cena. We don't like it, but that's how it is. That's how Vince runs it. If they need a heel turn, too bad. They're the highest merch sellers, and they're going to be pushed as a babyface because they bring in money. From little kids up to people like us that just like their ability in the ring. Now, I'm not comparing that to Roman Reigns and John Cena whatsoever, but I'm saying they're the biggest name in the division, therefore they're going to sell merch. Little kids love them, and a lot of the audience is adults with children, and they're going to buy a Roman Reigns shirt or a John Cena shirt, and in this case, a Sasha Banks shirt. I have plenty of Sasha Banks shirts. She can get it done in the ring. And that's the best thing for Bayley right now, is to be in a feud with the best women's wrestler probably throughout the entire roster. And hopefully that bodes well for Bayley. Hopefully she gets on up. She starts rising back up to the Bayley we've seen, winning titles, actually being legit, and being something good. Putting on good matches like she did in NXT. Because ever since she's been on main roster, she hasn't done much. She hasn't done much. Besides WrestleMania 33, she has not done anything. She got the title way too soon. And then she kept it in a Fatal 4-Way. She should have won it in a Fatal 4-Way. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing else I can say. But now that we're done with that rant, since it was the interesting storyline that I was going to speak about, we're going to actually go down the card the way it was. So, the show opens out with Kurt Angle coming on down to the ring along with Constable Corbin. And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Constable Corbin as of late is brilliant. He's the smartest man on their television right now. I love Constable Corbin. He is my favorite character on Monday Night Raw, possibly, besides Braun Strowman. He is. Constable Corbin has done great work. So Constable Corbin comes out with Kurt, right? And they're going on, talking about the elimination match or whatever it was going on at Extreme Rules. The 5-man match for the number 1 contendership against Brock Lesnar. Okay, they did this last year, okay. But Kurt Angle comes out and tells us that Brock Lesnar has some type of flaw in his contract that says that can't happen. What? Last year they did the same thing. How does it not happen this year? That made no sense to me. But I was like, okay, so how does it not happen? What is the issue here? What is the issue with this contract? He says there's a flaw in it. I don't know what the flaw is. Nobody told me. Nope, they didn't mention it. I have no idea what the flaw is. But what I want to know really is really what it is. Because it made no sense. He's just like, Brock Lesnar found a flaw in his contract that he does not have to defend the title against whoever wins. It doesn't have to happen. The match is canceled. So how does Brock have a clause saying that he can't have somebody fight for a number 1 contendership against his title? Where in the rules, where in Brock's contract, does it ever state that he can't get a number 1 contender from a match? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That was idiotic. Their excuse there was idiotic. I don't know who wrote that, but that was idiotic. Don't ever tell me like that again. No. I don't want to see that. That was stupid. I don't know what kind of clause it is, okay? I don't care what kind of clause it is either. You can't cancel a match after telling us about the match because Brock Lesnar's contract says something. Okay, it wasn't a match with Brock Lesnar. It wasn't a Fatal 4-Way with Brock Lesnar. Even if it was, he was in one last year, so what makes him do it this year? What makes him change this year? Last year, Samoa Joe won at Extreme Rules. He won at Extreme Rules. He went to fight Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. How does that change? How does that mean anything? How does that have to do with anything? He can't have people, not even him. He's not even going to be at the show. He can't have 5 guys in the ring fight for a number 1 contenders match against his title. So now we're going to be faced with Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley are going to fight to get the rights of Brock Lesnar. What? You couldn't put Elias in there. You couldn't put Seth Rollins in there with them and made it a match. Made it unpredictable. We all know who's going to win this match with Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be Roman Reigns. And if this is really the number one contenders match they are planning, then what's the point? Why would you have canceled that match? They could have had an interaction in the other match. They don't need a one-on-one match. I don't want to see Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley one-on-one. They announced that too, that they're going to fight one-on-one. Are you interested to see Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, two of the most bland superstars, in the same ring fighting? Roman Reigns gets awful reactions. You saw what happened with Jinder Mahal. You saw what happened at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. And now you're putting him in there with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley came out to zero reaction against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, people love Sami Zayn. People know Sami Zayn can get it done. Guess what? That match wasn't good. It wasn't. Sami Zayn is one of the best guys they got in their company. In ring and on the mic. Don't tell me otherwise. Sami Zayn is brilliant. And you're putting him in there against Roman Reigns now. You go from a match that nobody cared about in Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley to a match everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody, is going to crap all over this match. Lashley and Reigns in the same ring. That is a awful way to main event Extreme Rules. Pittsburgh is going to hate that match, and they deserve to. They should have got their Fatal 5-Way or Fatal 4-Way or whatever it was going to be. And they are getting this match. They're getting a match that nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again. We've seen it 2 times this year, 3 times already. Nobody wants to see it again. We all know what the ending is going to be if that is the case. Lesnar, I think his contract ends at SummerSlam, right? Roman Reigns, if that is the case, wins. And Roman Reigns gets that tell good story that nobody cares about, that they're trying to picture like it was Daniel Bryan back in the day, where the Authority were against him. The big strong beast, Brock Lesnar, was against him. He could not win, and he finally overcame it. No, it's not the same thing. Daniel Bryan was different than Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan wasn't pushed down our throats. We pushed him down their throats to make him who Daniel Bryan is. That's why we all love Daniel Bryan. Nobody likes Roman Reigns the way he is now. Make Roman Reigns a heel, and then come talk to me. Bobby Lashley and Brock Strowman. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, nobody wants to see either. I don't care if they're both from MMA, UFC backgrounds. I don't care. As Heyman said on Facebook, Lashley's always hidden from him. Lashley happened to leave the WWE the same time Lesnar was there. Lashley happened to be in Bellator when Lesnar was in UFC. He never really went to where Lesnar was. Lashley had a chance to go D1 for for amateur wrestling, and he didn't. Brock Lesnar went, but Bobby Lashley went to NAIA. So basically what they're telling you is he's avoiding him. And I want that to continue. I do not want to see that match. Please. Keep that match as far away from possible as possible. Don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And if you don't believe me, then when you watch that match, come back here and comment I was right. Because I am. Nobody is interested in either of those matches. I would have been much more interested in Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar than I am with either of those two men. Or even Elias. Even Elias. I don't care. As long as it's not one of those two. Next, we had Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley teaming up to fight the Revival. The Revival. Top guys. The match did nothing. It was basically a rescript of last week. The only difference is Dash Wilder got a roll-up pin on Roman Reigns, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did. I don't care. And nothing about this match was good. I don't care. Top guys should be doing a whole lot more than just fighting Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. They should. Top guys should be the Raw Tag Team Champions or in contention for it. I don't care as long as they had a opportunity and they were good. The Revival, don't tell me I'm wrong. Take over Orlando. Go watch the match. It was a ladder match. They had a brilliant match. Don't tell me they couldn't do the same thing on main roster. I know they could. They don't deserve to be fighting against Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley. Nobody in that roster deserves to be fighting against those two. Nobody. Please. Nobody needs to team them up. I don't want to see it. Don't do it again. This was the second time, and I did not care either time. Don't make it happen again. Next, we had probably one of the more entertaining segments of the night, in my opinion. We had Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, obviously imitating the Deleters of World, Bray Wyatt, and the deleted Matt Hardy. So, in this match, it really wasn't anything special. It really wasn't. Hardy had Axel on the top rope. He was going for a suplex. Axel converted it into a crossbody, rolled him up for the pin, ended up winning. The Deleters of World, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, sat there clapping for Curtis Axel and the B team, clapping for him like it was a golf clap, saying wonderful. Nobody cares about the B team. Their merchandise is awful. I could write it on a shirt, please. The B team, I don't care about them. I don't care about the B team. I don't. You had Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in that match to make the B team the number one contenders, and they didn't win. The B team is being pushed down our throats. I'm sorry. I like Bo Dallas, and I like Curtis Axel, both on their own and as a team. But I don't like them as the B team. I'm not feeling this whole thing, and I don't want them to win the tag team titles. I imagine that they probably will come close and or win the titles, but I do not want to see it. I'm sorry. Next, we had the team that I'm a big fan of. I love them in NXT. I loved Authors of Pain in NXT. And this is what they should be doing. Except they shouldn't be doing them against jobbers. I don't remember these two guys' names. I don't remember where they're from or any of this. All I know is the Authors of Pain fought two local jobbers, and they absolutely demolished them. The Authors of Pain should be doing this against guys like Breezango. Guys like Titus Worldwide. Which, by the way, after the match, that AOP just completely tore apart the jobbers. They went back to attack them again. And Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews come on down to try to make the save. Authors of Pain just walk away. They don't care. They're above of Titus Worldwide. I do not want to see that as first feud. The first feud for AOP should have been in the tag team title picture. It should not be against Titus Worldwide. Or at least give us something meaningful if they're not in the tag title picture. Do not put them against Titus Worldwide. They have no relevancy into anything. Please, never do that. I hate it. I'm sorry, AOP. I'm sorry. You guys deserve much better. You're a team that I like. You guys aren't being shown respect. Next, we had kind of a buffer match here. Natalya was all upset at Alexa because Ronda Rousey got suspended for 30 days. And she was like, well, once in 23 days, Alexa, Rousey's going to be back here, and she's tearing your arm off. Nobody cared. Natalya ended up winning via submission against Alexa. She brought down Nia. Believe me when she said... Actually, I'm going to hold up there. I want to talk about Alexa Bliss's promo first off. Alexa Bliss's promo against Natalya was like, wait a minute, Natalya, weren't you just in, I don't even know where it was. It was somewhere in Michigan. Some lake or something. Lake Michigan, maybe? I don't remember. And she was like, oh, you guys are at Total Divas on your vacation. You don't have to post everything on Instagram. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Alexa Bliss on Total Divas? Huh. And didn't Alexa Bliss post stuff about her on the cast of Total Divas? Huh. Yeah. Hypocrite. Anyways, Natalya got Alexa Bliss to tap out. So what I want to know is, if she's losing to Natalya, how is she gonna lose? How is she gonna beat Nia Jax at Extreme Rules? How is she gonna beat Nia Jax? That's what I want to know. Very illogical. You know she's gonna beat Nia Jax. No doubt in my mind she's beating Nia Jax, because you know the heel that they want Ronda against is Alexa Bliss. I'm not gonna lie. I'd much rather see Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey again. They put on a good match at Money in the Bank. They did. I can't say anything bad against them. They did. It was a good match. Ronda Rousey has been looking great, but you know when she fights Alexa Bliss, it ain't gonna be a 3, 4, 5-star match. It's not gonna be something special. They're gonna hold Ronda Rousey back in fear of hurting their little precious gem in Alexa Bliss. That's what's going to happen. And it's not going to be a good story. Ronda Rousey has to completely demolish Alexa Bliss. Not a second to breathe. She needs to win in under a minute. What she did with Nia Jax was good. It was. But what she's going to do with Alexa Bliss, I'm fearing, is going to be a train wreck. I'd much rather see Nia Jax win the title back and then end up defending against Ronda Rousey. It won't happen like that, but I wish it would. Next, we had an interesting segment. Kurt Angle was in the back talking to Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman. And Strowman's like, I want a team of Kevin Owens. And then Corbin just got done roasting Smiley Finn over here. And he was like, actually, I have an idea. How about Finn Balor and Constable Corbin fight Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman? Match happened. And Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman won by count out. And after the match, Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman had some issues. Went on to the back. And Braun Strowman was hunting down Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is about to leave the building. He goes to the guy that holds the keys for the car. I forget what they're called. And he's like, can I have my keys? And then he's like, I don't have them. He's like, give me my keys. And then the dude was like, I don't have them. He does. Kevin Owens looks over his shoulder and sees Braun Strowman. He sees Braun Strowman over there. And then Braun Strowman's like, here's your keys, Kevin. Just look over there. Kevin Owens' car is flipped over. His car is flipped over. It's steaming. They have fire extinguishers all over there. They have a couple guys over there trying to put the fire out, trying to put all the steam out. Kevin Owens didn't notice this at any point walking out. He didn't look. He didn't smell. He's just walking on over. He's just looking straight on. He can't see out of the side of his eyes that a car's flipped over. He can't, really. A little illogical there. Just a little. Next, I guess we're going to talk about Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose. Nobody cares about this, but Mojo Rawley denied No Way Jose a rematch. He insulted one of the members of the Congo line. He was like, you won't be a professional wrestler. This is why you're here. You're trying to be a professional wrestler. Turns out, in 3 years, he's going to end up feuding against this dude. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. He's somewhere in the Performance Center right now, putting on work. It happened with Adam Rose. Guess who was in his conga line? Braun Strowman. Becky Lynch. Somebody in that conga line is going to be famous. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's going to be that dude, too. I'm telling you. He's going to feud against Mojo Rawley. He's going to beat Mojo Rawley. It's going to be a whole feud, 3 years in the making, and they're going to show one video clip of Mojo Rawley saying, "You won't be anything." Yeah, big whoop. Then we're going to talk about the best match of the night besides the ending. My bad. I'm sorry. Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler are brilliant. Both of them. Seth Rollins is one of the best in-ring performers I've seen. He's up there with AJ Styles. He's up there with Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins has been brilliant. He's been the best ever since WrestleMania 33. You can't deny me. Seth Rollins has been on the top of his game. He made the Intercontinental title look great. And what he did with Dolph Ziggler the other night wasn't too bad. It was not bad at all, actually. The match was pretty good. We saw Drew McIntyre on the sideline for Dolph Ziggler, obviously. He's trying to get involved. He gets thrown out at one point. And Seth Rollins, looking great, hits a Falcon Arrow at one point. Hits curb stomp. And he goes for the cover. 1, 2, should have been 3. But Drew McIntyre comes back out, grabs the ref by the ankle, pulls him out of the ring, goes back in the ring, and starts beating on Dolph Ziggler. Or not Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. And Dolph Ziggler joins in. Disqualification. They're beating on Seth Rollins for a little bit. And out comes Roman Reigns for the save. Roman Reigns takes both men out. And at the end of the night, we see Roman Reigns hoisting up Seth Rollins, staring down the two. We need to see Roman Reigns twice in one night. I just got done with the Roman Reigns rant. I'm not going to do it again. But you need to see Roman Reigns twice in one night, really? There was no point for Roman Reigns. I don't care if he was a former Shield brother. I don't. Could have been a perfect opportunity for Jason Jordan. Could have been a nice opportunity for Dean Ambrose. But we got Roman Reigns. We got Roman Reigns. You got to give Roman Reigns the little rub of the hottest guy in the company right now in Seth Rollins. Vince had to do it. I wasn't a fan of it. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here for now. You should see the SmackDown review about an hour or so after this one is uploaded. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later today, actually. So, thank you, guys. See ya. Gamers Goons out, bro.